All right, just a small and easy change here today, but I think it adds a lot of value. So you can already see here I have a character. I wanted to have these portraits in the game. So let me show you what that looks like. In the game in the bottom right corner, just like any portrait, you know, when you're playing a game and somebody's talking, I want this to be displayed. So I have the volume muted, but on the right-hand side, you know, I have one character. Obviously, I'll like to have a probe character as well when it's talking. But so how did I do that really quick? All I did actually pretty simply is I went in and said, I'm going to show you the hierarchy here. I want to create these portraits. So I created a portrait folder on the bottom left. I obviously have a captain and a probe empty. And then I went in and said, okay, give me a 2D plane, okay? Because right now I don't have animations, but I do have these characters that I kind of created in Midjourney a while back. And in that plane, I just want to add an image to it. So I imported this image right here, and I created a material for it. And in that material, I said I want it to be an unlit URP. And in the base map is where I just dropped in that image material. Okay, so I had that there, and then in the scene you can kind of zoom into that area. I drag and drop the plane into just a general area on the scene, and that's where you see on the bottom left corner of the hierarchy where I kind of created this new area and a new camera. So that's the captain, that's the portrait, that's the camera. So the camera is literally just looking directly at that image. You know, if I was to adjust the camera back and forth, it would zoom in on the portrait itself. But the point is, how do I get that to show up on the canvas? So in the UI canvas, I created another empty called portrait windows. And in that, if I zoom to the UI canvas, you'll see it a little bit. You can see in that bottom right corner, the portrait's already there. So I repositioned that portrait window object to the bottom right using, you know, just the rect transformation that we have here in Unity. And then I created another object in it so I could put the captain on it. And this is a raw image object. And in that raw image, I was able to call a texture here on the right-hand side, which was this render texture here. So I created a render texture, and then I drag and dropped that render texture into the captain. And I also did that on the portrait as well. Yeah, on the bottom right of the portrait, or as a material, I have that captain portrait there as well. So kind of interesting way to show a portrait in your game. There's a lot I want to do. I want to add animations to it, but right now I think it's pretty cool. It's neat to have just a character in the bottom right corner while you're playing, and maybe change or animate it over time. So that's what I'm working on. I'll see you tomorrow.